Hey yo, what's good, people? It's your boy reporting straight from the 90s. And back in the 90s, toys weren't just toys, they were cultural earthquakes. Every holiday season, there was always that one thing that kids begged for, and parents straight up lost their minds trying to get. We're talking about sold out shelves, lines wrapping around the block, and even scuffles in toy aisles. These weren't just little fads, these were national news stories. If you grew up in the 90s and you remember watching the chaos on TV, you already know what's up. Or maybe you were the kid praying your mom could snag one before they were gone. So today, we're diving into the biggest toy crazes of the 90s, the ones that had the whole decade in a chokehold. And before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment with the toy you remember going crazy for back in the day. Trust me, you're going to want to join the convo for this one.
Well, it's this year's Toy Story, a red furry doll that giggles a lot. Tickle Me Elmo is the hottest thing this Christmas. Sold out of stores everywhere. But is it all just marketing and media hype?
If you were alive in the 90s, you couldn't escape the madness that was Tickle Me Elmo. On paper, it sounded simple. A red Sesame Street doll that laughed when you tickled it. But in reality, that boy was the Hunger Games of 1996 and Christmas shopping. The hype started small, but when Rosie O'Donnell featured it on her talk show, it blew up overnight. From that point forward, Elmo wasn't just a toy, he was a golden ticket of the decade.
It's new Tickle Me Elmo. Your child tickles Elmo and he talks.
That tickles.
And laughs. Tickle him again and hold on.
By December, shelves were empty. Parents were lining up outside Toys R Us before sunrise. Scalpers were flipping Elmos for more than their retail. And news crews were running stories about shoppers scuffling over the last few dolls. In Chicago, one store clerk even reported being knocked down when a shipment arrived.
One of the clerks was sent to hospital after being trampled in the frenzy.
Somebody in the crowd yelled, "There's the Elmos," and they rushed us.
And the craziest part, it wasn't even high tech. No screens, no AI, no internet hookup, just a plush doll with a giggle chip inside. But that was 90s magic, a simple concept tied to a beloved character, fueled by hype, and it turned into pure chaos. You gotta love it. Now, if Elmo was cute and cuddly, Furby was straight up nightmare fuel wrapped in fur, and kids couldn't get enough. Dropping in late 1998, the owl, bat, gremlin thing hit shelves right around Christmas, and the hype was unreal.
This Christmas, it's Furby. You likely won't spot one on store shelves, though. There's just too many people trying to find one.
Hasbro promised it was an interactive pet that could learn English over time. In reality, it had a preset list of phrases in Furbish that switched to English the more you played with it. Still, for 90s kids, it felt like we had a little alien learning in real time.
Me and May, that's Furby.
Parents went feral for these things. Stores couldn't keep them in stock and resale prices skyrocketed. The demand didn't even stop after Christmas. Through 1999, Furbies were still hard to find, but Furby also sparked some of the wildest rumors of the decade. Schools banned them because teachers swore they were recording devices, and the NSA even banned them from government offices. All of that over a toy that basically squeaked, "Me hungry," in a gremlin voice. Still, if you had one in the late 90s, you were the boss. Furby wasn't just a toy, it was a mix of pet, tech experiment, and urban legend all in one.
First I got Pinky, then I got Pinky. I got Pinky and Patty in the same week.
What, Vanessa, catch something?
Teeny weeny babyitis.
Before crypto and the NFTs and sneaker resales and all of that, man, we had Beanie Babies. Ty Warner created those bean-filled plush animals in the mid-90s, and they somehow turned into the biggest speculative craze of the decade.
So you have to admit they're cute.
Here's a quick lesson on this beanie craze. A company called Ty makes them, releases them with different names.
At first, they didn't look like much. No electronics, no fancy gimmick, just cute little stuffed animals with a heart-shaped tie tag on the ear. But here's the catch. Ty only made limited runs of each one, and they would retire designs without warning. That artificial scarcity sent demand through the roof.
Then retires them one at a time.
There's Snort, Seaweed, Jabberjake.
When they're first released, you can get them for about $5 to $7. Once they retire, the value goes up.
The madness was real. People lined up outside of Hallmark stores, hoarded them in closets, and treated them like investments. Certain rare or retired Beanie Babies flipped for hundreds, even thousands, like the Princess Diana bear or a rare version of Peanut the elephant. But the truth is, most were just $5 toys. When the bubble finally burst, a lot of folks were left with closets full of plush worth almost nothing. Still, in the 90s, Beanie Babies had the culture on lock. For a while, it felt like everybody was either collecting them, selling them, or arguing about which one would pay for college one day. Crazy time.
The hottest thing in the 12 and under set is coming soon to a theater near you. Pokémon the movie joins Pokémon the video game and Pokémon the trading card as must-sees and must-haves.
By the end of the decade, nothing was bigger than Pokémon. The games, the show, the toys, it was everywhere. But the one product that sent the craze into overdrive was the Pokémon trading card game, which hit in the US in 1999. Kids went crazy collecting their favorite Pokémon. But once word spread about rare cards, the obsession hit another level. That shiny Charizard holographic was basically playground currency, and I had that joint back in the day. If you pulled one from a booster pack, you instantly became a legend. Packs sold out the minute they dropped. Stores were stripped bare, and many schools ended up restricting or banning cards altogether because kids were hustling, trading, and beefing over them at recess. It wasn't just a game, it was an economy. By the end of the decade, Pokémon cards weren't just toys anymore. They were bragging rights, collectibles, and sometimes even lunch money investments. For 90s kids, pulling that hollow Charizard was the closest thing to hitting the lottery.
You can bring home the adventure of Disney's Toy Story now on video with the talking and posable figures of Woody and Buzz Lightyear.
My name's Woody. Buzz Lightyear. I come in peace.
When Toy Story came out in 1995, it changed everything. Kids walked out of the theaters wanting the toys immediately. And while Woody was cool, it was Buzz Lightyear who stole the show. The demand for Buzz far outpaced the supply. Disney hadn't expected the movie to be such a smash, so by Christmas, Buzz was impossible to find. Parents were searching everywhere. Resale prices were climbing, and Buzz instantly became one of the hottest toys of the decade.
Buzz Lightyear, planet Earth needs your help.
On the way!
Buzz Lightyear, the world's greatest superhero, now the world's greatest toy!
Woody had his fans too. The cowboy pull-string doll was a classic, but Buzz was the crown jewel. With his lights, wings, and voice box, he felt futuristic in a way toys hadn't before. Owning Buzz in 1995 meant you were on top of the food chain.
Intergalactic Buzz Lightyear. His new spacesuit protects him from evil proton rays and comes equipped with a flip-up arm communicator.
Buzz Lightyear to the rescue.
Firing missiles on target.
Buzz proved how powerful movie tie-ins could be. To infinity and beyond wasn't just his catchphrase, it was exactly how far the toy sales went. For real.
You balance the Pog on 2 fingers, and it must be thrown overhand at the top of the stack.
This crowd at Hey Kids Comics knows what Pog is all about.
If you grew up in the 90s, you definitely remember Pogs. They were just cardboard discs, but somehow they ruled the playground for a few crazy years. The game came from Hawaii, based on milk caps, and once it spread, it took over fast. Kids stacked them up, slammed them down with metal or plastic slammers, and kept the ones that flipped. But more than the game, it was the collecting that had kids hooked. There were thousands of designs, holograms, skulls, cartoons, and even custom art.
What are Pogs?
These are Pogs. They're milk caps. They're Pogs. It's a game. You stack them, and then you whack them.
Shops sold out of Pogs constantly. Knockoffs flooded the market, of course. Kids were spending every allowance dollar on new packs, flexing their stacks, and sometimes beefing when they lost their best slammer in a game. Schools got so sick of it that they banned Pogs altogether, which is what made them even cooler.
Yeah.
It's the official World Pog Federation milk cap maker. For the first time ever, you can make your own milk caps. It's cool because it's totally easy.
The craze burned hot and fast, and by the end of the decade, Pogs had basically disappeared. But for those couple of years, they were everywhere. Proof that even simple cardboard could become a cultural juggernaut in the 90s. Well, there you have it, folks. The 90s were a wild time to be a kid, Toys weren't just toys. They were status, culture, and sometimes all-out war in the aisles of Toys R Us. From Elmo making parents throw hands, to Furbies haunting bedrooms, to Beanie Babies flipping like stocks, these weren't just childhood memories. They were moments that defined the decade. And if you were lucky enough to have one of these under the tree, you know exactly how special it felt. But now, I want to hear from you. What was the toy that had you and your family going crazy back in the day? And if you rocked with this trip down memory lane, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with somebody who grew up in the 90s. We've got plenty more nostalgia coming, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's next at all. We out, yo.